Hello everyone, welcome back to Physio-Pulse channels. In today's lectures, we'll discuss about juxtaglomerular apparatus in a simple, conceptual and exam-oriented manner. Especially, this topic is designed for undergraduate students. So let's get started our juxtaglomerular apparatus. In these topics, in these chapters, we will discuss about the definition of juxtaglomerular apparatus. Then we'll discuss one by one structures of juxtaglomerular apparatus and the functions of juxtaglomerular apparatus. So, first of all, definition. Juxtaglomerular apparatus is a specialized organ situated near the glomerulus of each nephron. As we know, juxta means near. So, near the glomerulus is called the juxtaglomerular apparatus. Now, if you see the structure of juxtaglomerular apparatus, there are the three important structures. One is the macula densa, then extraglomerular mesangial cells, then juxtaglomerular cells. So, macula densa, this portion is this is the end portion of the thick ascending segment before it opens into the distal convoluted tubule. So it is situated in between afferent as well as the efferent arterioles. It is very close to the afferent arteriole, and macula densa is formed tightly back to the cuboidal epithelial cells. So this is the macula densa. And now if you see the extraglomerular mesangial cells, and this is also sometimes called the RAAS cell, and it is situated triangular region bound by apparent arteriole, efferent arteriole, and macula densa. So this is the triangular region. So extraglomerular mesangial cells is situated in this region. Now to see especially another type of mesangial cells, there is the glomerular. Besides the extraglomerular mesangial cells, there is another type of mesangial cells which is situated between the glomerular capillaries and called the glomerular mesangial and that is called the intraglomerular mesangial cells. Glomerular mesangial cells support the glomerular capillaries, loops of surroundings of the capillary in the form of cellular networks. Now, there are the important juxtaglomerular cells, that is another part. That is the number 3, juxtaglomerular cells. As it is a juxtaglomerular cells, it is a granular and situated the wall of the apparent arteriole just before it enters into the Bowman capsules. These smooth muscle cells are mostly present in the tunica media, tunica adventitia, and the wall of the apparent arteriole. Juxtaglomerular cells are also called the granular cells because the presence of secretory granules in the cytoplasm. So this type of cells is a thick cup and which is called the polar cushion, that is called pulse cushions, around the apparent arteriole before it enters into the Bowman capsules. So these are the three important types of cells which we discuss here: macula densa, extraglomerular mesangial cell, and juxtaglomerular cells. Now there are important functions is here. Functions of juxtaglomerular cells, that is the primary function, that is it can secrete some hormones. The hormones like the renin and prostaglandin, these are the most important hormone which is secreted by the juxtaglomerular apparatus. If you see the renin is also an enzyme and also a hormone, and it can secrete from the juxtaglomerular cells. Renin is peptide molecules, and it is peptide molecule. It has 340 amino acids. Along with the angiotensins, renin forms the renin-angiotensin system, which is a hormone system which plays an important role in maintenance of blood pressures. That we will discuss in the blood pressure chapters. Now, if you see how renin functions here, the stimulants of the renin secretion, that is secretion stimulated by the 4 factors. One is whenever blood pressure is reduced, at that time renin is stimulated. Secondly, the reduction in the ECO volume, then also renin secreted. And now increase in sympathetic activity also can stimulate the renin secretion, and decrease of the low sodium and chloride in macula densa. Now this system, what we will discuss here, that is when renin is released into the blood, it acts the specific plasma protein that is called the angiotensinogen. Renin substrate, and it is an alpha-2 globulin, and it is a decapeptide molecule. But angiotensinogen is converted into decapeptide, that is the angiotensin, and this angiotensin will convert to form the angiotensin 1 to angiotensin 2, which is a octapeptide molecule. So angiotensin 1 is decapeptide, then angiotensin 2 is octapeptide. With the help of ACE, angiotensin converting enzyme, it will form angiotensin 2. Now, most of the conversion of the angiotensin 1 into the angiotensin 2 takes place in the lungs. Angiotensin 2 has a short half-life of about 1 to 2 minutes, and then it rapidly degraded into the heptapeptide that is called the angiotensin 3 with the help of angiotensinase enzyme, which is present in the RBC cell and vascular beds. Now, if you see the functions of the angiotensin, first of all, angiotensin 1, it is a physiologically inactive molecule and serves only as the precursor of angiotensin 2. And secondly, angiotensin 2, it is most active form and it has tremendous action, various actions in the blood vessels as well as the adrenal cortex, brain, and different area of the body. Like the blood vessel, if you see angiotensin 2, it can increase the arterial blood pressures by directly acting on blood vessels through the vasoconstriction. And now it increases the blood pressure indirectly by increasing the release of noradrenaline from the postganglionic sympathetic nerve fibers, because we know that noradrenaline is a general vasoconstrictor. In on adrenal cortex, if you see the angiotensin 2 has stimulated zona glomerulosa of adrenal cortex and thereby secrete the aldosterone. And if the aldosterone secretes started, then retention of the sodium as well as the water molecule increases, and thereby it can leads to increase the blood pressures. On kidney, this angiotensin 2 regulates GFR in the two way. One is it can constrict the afferent arteriole, and secondly, it controls the glomerular mesangial cells, leading to decreased surface area of glomerular capillary infiltrations. Now, it increases also sodium reabsorption from the renal tubules. On brain, what happened? On brain, it will indirectly, it can increase the blood pressures by inhibiting the baroreceptor reflex. And baroreceptor reflex is responsible for decreasing the blood pressures. If you have to see the diagram how renin or renin-angiotensin system acts together, that then we will see that when the stimulation like the when low blood pressures, low ECF, sympathetic stimulation, low plasma sodium, then the stimulation starts in the juxtaglomerular apparatus, and thereby renin is secreted started. Renin after secretion, it will bind with the angiotensinogen, which comes from the plasma, and this angiotensinogen, it will leads to convert to form the angiotensin 1. Then with the help of ACE enzyme, it will convert from angiotensin 1 to angiotensin 2. Now angiotensin 2 has increased the ADH secretion, increases the water intake, increases the blood pressure, and regulates the GFR. Now, with the help of angiotensinase, angiotensin 2 is converted to form the angiotensin 3, and then it will convert to form the successively 4. So, this 3 and 4 has increased the aldosterone secretion, and thereby it increases the sodium and water retention, and it causes the vasoconstriction. So, in this way, if you see the renin-angiotensin system, it can regulate the blood pressure, it can regulate the ECF volume, and even also regulate the GFR also. So another important hormone that is called the prostaglandin. During the extraglomerular mesangial cell juxtaglomerular apparatus, it can secrete the prostaglandin. Prostaglandin secreted also from the interstitial cell of the medulla. This is called the type 1 medullary interstitial cells. And we'll discuss details of the prostaglandin in another separate chapters. Other secretion like the importantly just from juxtaglomerular cells, cytokines also released like the interleukin and TNC, that is the tumor necrosis factors. Even also Macula Densa secretes thromboxane A2. So there are various important functions which we have discussed here, like the juxtaglomerular apparatus, it can secrete the renin, and renin also regulate the blood pressures. Even also renin regulate the juxtaglomerular filtration rate and ECF volume. Moreover, we have already discussed the prostaglandin and even some secretion of other substances like the cytokines or interleukin, necrosis, tumor necrosis factors, even thromboxane A2 from Macula Densa. So in this way, we can cover our lecture today, juxtaglomerular apparatus structures as well as the important function of juxtaglomerular apparatus. And so students, thank you for watching this lecture. I hope this session has helped you understand the topic clearly. If you found this video useful, please like, share and subscribe the Physio-Pulse channels. Do not forget to press the notification bell so you never miss our upcoming lectures on Physio-Pulse or physiology, biochemistry and biology, different types of topics. And if you have any query, any question, any suggestion, please give in your comment sections. And thank you for watching, and thank you. I will see you in the next lecture. Until then, Keep learning and stay curious, and thank you.